Hey, what's up, you guys? So over the last couple of days, we have been getting numerous reports that Israel Adesanya will not be fighting until 2027. Yes, you guys heard that right, 2027. We're going to go ahead and break this report down, give you guys my personal opinion. Please, you guys, like the video, comment down below, and subscribe. So this is going to be more of a short video on the topic, but I do want to say I'm 100% on Israel Adesanya's side with this. Because right off the bat, before even getting into this report, I feel like I already know what he's going to talk about. And that is probably the activity that he has had as a champion, nonetheless, as a fighter. The guy has had 12 fights since 2019. I mean, that is an absurd number. I mean, that averages like around 3 fights a year. The guy has been like ridiculously active. And interestingly enough, with 12 of those fights, 11 being title fights. The one only other fight against Anderson Silva, but I mean, that's such a high profile fight that's got to count. But 11 title fights is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, his name has been, attached to that title picture for, 4 years now. And it's crazy to think that, I feel like no one really appreciates him in the MMA community as much as he should get. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he deserves a lot more credit to his name. I mean, Izzy is such a respectable champion, always trying to fight the next contender in line. And all around, he's given us awesome moments, in the UFC. His rivalry with Alex Pereira, his war with Kelvin Gastelum, the classic fights with Robert Whittaker, and then obviously every time he outclasses, every contender coming up. And so, of course, with him being a champion for such a long time, he's obviously going to get a lot of attention and a lot of fame, and with that comes opportunities outside of the cage. And so I can't really blame him, because what it sounds like here to me is that he wants to take the opportunity to explore those things, outside of the cage. And I mean, really, who can fault him for that? Most of the time he is in training camp, so he has to say no to, doing certain stuff. But now that he's out, like, he could go and just enjoy it freely, if that makes sense. In all, the guy has worked his ass off. He deserves a break. And man, I mean, his last fight, obviously he lost the belt to Sean Strickland. Sean beat him all 5 rounds. And I thought after that fight, the way that Dana was talking, that Israel, was going to come back immediately. They were going to set that fight up. But then we started hearing that Israel hasn't said anything in the media for weeks, actually. And it took months before he'd actually, go ahead and say something publicly. And, here we are today, hearing that, he's actually going to take a break, until 2027, which, saying that, I feel like that is a little stretched out. I don't think he's going to take until 2027 to come back. He is getting up there in age, as he is in his mid-30s. But I mean, still, you get the relative idea that he's going to take a year or 2 off. Also, in his defense, I mean, you got to understand that other than the Alex Pereira rivalry and then his own attempt to move up to 205, get that champ status against Jan Blachowicz, the guy really hasn't had any excitement for him, at 185. Like, there was no exciting names for him to fight. Like, we needed it to be more hyped. Like, the division just looked stale for a long time with, respectfully, guys like Jared, Marvin Vettori, Whittaker just going to decisions. We had Gastelum, and it just looked stale at 185. But now, I mean, we're getting so much action out of middleweight that it might be a smart idea to, give him some time off, come back and see what the landscape is now. Because one thing's for sure, middleweight is not the same middleweight that it was a year or 2 ago. Middleweight now is, a fun division to be in. But I will also say this, while I do support Israel taking a break, there is one thing that I have said about Israel before in the past, and that I do believe that after his course has ran at 185, I would like him to see, a permanent move at light heavyweight. And next week's fight between Alex Pereira and Yuri Prochazka, I'm just gonna say it right now, if Alex goes out there and starches Yuri, gets a second belt, could you imagine the fight between him and Izzy a 3rd time for the 205 belt? I mean, that would absolutely be amazing. That'd be such a scene, to see these guys rematch, but this time up a weight class for the belt there. Like, that'd be insane. And it'd be crazy because Alex would do what, you know, Izzy has yet to do again, you know, a continued pattern. And this time, you know, claiming a double champ belt. Izzy would probably see this as a challenge and want to take that fight, you know. So that's all I'm going to say. I feel like that there's a very good chance, especially with next week, you know, Alex fighting Yuri. You know, that could be a possibility that we could see, you know, Izzy come, you know, back sooner than later. But in my opinion, I would like to see him take out, you know, just a year from competition, enjoy himself, but also put on some muscle, come back, regroup, you know, and replan how he's going to attack this new 205 division. Because, man, thinking of Izzy at light heavyweight is so cool, because we're gonna get fights like him versus Yuri Prochazka, him versus, like I said, Alex Pereira. But not just those two. I mean, you still have Jamal Hill, Johnny Walker, a rematch with Jan Blachowicz, Alexander Rakic is coming back. I mean, there's so many exciting fights for Izzy at 205 as well. Not just 185, but like I said, he's ran his course at 185. There's nothing more for him to accomplish. A move to light heavyweight would be the move for him. But yeah, please, you guys, like the video, comment down below. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Would you like to see Izzy move up to 205? Or how do you guys feel about, you know, this little break that he's going to be taking? Like the video, you guys, comment down below, and subscribe. Catch you guys later. Peace.